that. And you're on. All right. So now if you went to comments, would you be able to see the comments?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have been seeing the comments.
Okay, good. Can you see the link to StreamYard in there?
I'm looking. Yes. I do, yes.
Hey guys, it's Claudia from What's Up Dog? One word, capital W, capital U, capital D, and hands to paws grooming, where we are groom, style, swag, and welcome to our discussion tonight, which is Grandma. Where were you? And Nicole, would you like to introduce yourself?
My name is Nicole. I am the sister of I am the other sister. Obviously, there's only two people here. Hello. And I have history as a caseworker, DCF caseworker, and special education teacher. And makeup and skincare on the side.
Oh God, Nicole, I'm so sorry. You see, I prepare it. It's my phone. I prepare it and it doesn't stay that way. Sorry.
And you can find me on Facebook and you get my link for all my goodies that I talk about on my Facebook page.
Because you represent good skincare, because it's about the skincare to have the, because really what's beautiful is health. Healthy is really beautiful, right? It's not about the makeup or about, putting on the face. It's really about healthy, and healthy shines through skin and your eyes. So, all right. So thanks guys for coming in. And thank you to True Crime Exposed for allowing Nicole and I to come on and help promote our campaign for Summer Wells, because she is
the official pack leader for Paw Patrol awareness for safety for our children and our dogs.
Right, because children are on the bottom of the abuse chain, and abuse continues unless it's addressed, and dogs are on the bottom of that. And we are going to talk dog tonight. We're talking dog primarily surrounding the summer. Well, hey, Steph, what's up, dog? As in a dog named Wood. And we're doing our talk on dogs tonight, primarily around the Summer Wells case. If you're just joining us, Summer Wells is, I think her 7-month anniversary is going to be coming up, is missing from the mountains of Tennessee, and the town is just going to leave my head, Nicole.
So Hawkins?
Yes, Hawkins, Tennessee, where we're asking if you want to donate to Summer Wells, because she is the awareness leader for the Paw Patrol pack, and she, in her name, we would like you to call the Hawkins, Tennessee Humane Society and donate, even if it's $5. There were 20 plus dogs 7 months ago, almost 7 months ago. Jodisue, who is Summer Wells' neighbor, was on a live last night, and she mentioned how many litters that she was aware of since Summer left. It multiplies quickly. So the dogs need care. They're going to be neutered and spayed. They are going, get rehomed to forever homes. Maybe if you want a Summer Wells awareness, Paw Patrol puppy, they may have puppies of dogs available. And her dog's name was Lucky, but she couldn't say Lucky because she's 5. So she said Yucky. So Lucky, AKA Yucky. What? All right. And we want to thank True Crime Exposed. He's doing a fantastic job, and I want to really give him credit for acknowledging other YouTubers. He had Don Wells is Summer Wells' father. Candus Wells is Summer Wells' mother. And he had, we mentioned Mary, who is Don Wells' sister, who came forward with the information that Don Wells had spent time in prison because he started SAing. We can't say certain words on YouTube. SAing, so figure it out. SAing his 5-year-old sister. So, and now she has come out with her story. She brought it out for the first time on the Interview Room. We're going to give credit to Chris McDonough of the Interview Room, who his tagline is "Keep it classy," and he's brilliant. Like, I'm a Chris McDonough fangirl. Like, he is great. Have you watched any of his stuff?
I've watched one or two, yeah.
Fantastic. He, last night, Chris McDonough from the Interview Room, was also live, where he asked Don Wells to come on live with him so he could ask him about his 7 alibis, because Don Wells has 7 alibis. He called him out. Well, it seems that Don Wells and Candus Wells now have a media manager, and maybe they didn't want. Now, Don and Candus go live everywhere, and they go live intoxicated everywhere. So I am not saying that there is not an epidemic and that this epidemic doesn't touch lives and all of our lives. However, I am not, I do not follow their lives because I personally cannot tolerate listening to their drama and the things that they say that are untruths. So I'd rather follow my YouTubers that break it down and make it digestible. And even then, trauma alert, it is hard to digest. Okay, so how did you feel about being on True Crime Exposed?
I was excited. I'm glad that I came over and we had a chance to do that and got some exposure for your creative design for her.
Right? I think he's really sweet. He got Mary, Don Wells' sister, a whole bunch of followers today. And I think that he should invite, and if you're watching, please invite Mary on your show. She'll go on your show. She's wonderful. And, you know, good for Chris McDonough. He called out Don. He literally showed the text messages. He also called out Don Wells has a story. I just have to go here. I just have to. Don Wells claims, people, ladies and gentlemen, Don Wells claims that the police said they had, this is out of Don Wells' mouth, this is out of the horse's mouth, that the police had said to him that they knew that he had sold his child. So in order to prove that that was not true, he went and bought $2,000 worth of crack, not as in a dog's name. And then he distributed it because, as Chris McDonough called him, he's the crack hood, just Robin Hood, crack hood, and he distributed it. So I just would really like to say, I want to debunk that. I want to say to anybody out there, do you buy that?
No.
As Chris McDonough said, Chris McDonough, by the way, I want to tell you fun facts on Chris McDonough. So, okay, so nobody's going to drive up to a drug dealer's house with $2,000 worth of product, be like, yo, dude, what up? Gangster over here. I got the feds. I've got the TBI. I got just a few police. Don't worry, they're cool with it. And then I'm going to go to everybody's house who sees the police and Hines, and I'm going to say, what's up? Here's some free stuff. Can I call BS on that?
Yeah.
I really have to call. All right. So some fun facts I learned about Chris McDonough, who True Crime Exposed. You should ask Chris McDonough because he went on No Thanks. No Thanks with the thing. You know who I'm talking about? No Thanks, because I was involved in his drama because I got up in the middle of the night. Well, and he did. We talked about it. He went on and he humbly apologized for his not very nice behavior. And I got caught up in the middle of that with no, like, dear Lord, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. What's going on? I just wanted to ask Jodisue, the neighbor, some questions. He went on his show, Chris McDonough did. So I think True Crime Exposed should ask Chris McDonough to come on because he would like Jodisue to come on his show so he could ask some questions to Jodisue. And I would really enjoy that. And I would promote him because he is bringing awareness to this case. All right. Tiffany Marie did a live last night and she invited Jodisue on and let's talk dog. And Jodisue decided to go on. Well, that was the most chatty I have seen Jodisue. I do not follow Jodisue's personal Facebook page because, again, there is Jackson. There's there's only there. This is digestible in small doses. However, I put it in the description tonight because I'm not good at putting all the links. I was figuring it out to see if I could get everybody's link in there. But I was going to mess it up. So I just put True Crime Exposed and then I put everybody else's name. The beginning of that, I understand why Jodisue went on her page. I totally understand. And Nicole, you've got to go. I sent it to you. I don't know if you had a chance to watch it. There was part 1 and part 2.
I watched the last one about the nurse who said what she thinks happened, but I think there was one above that you sent me.
Okay, and apparently Jodisue's live right now. Oh God, Ren, you got to be in both places. I guess I could jump over there and watch. I would live stream it, but I don't know how. Boy, Nicole, I can't wait till you figure out. Ren, you too, StreamYard, because we can live stream this stuff and literally watch it together. And Jodisue is the one with all the information. So, and Jodisue is talking so much dog last night. She talked about the dogs going to a specific spot. Now, this was like Ren, was it a 3-hour live stream? It was long. Like it was getting a little gruely. I was like, God, I have things I got to do. So she mentions the dogs going to a certain spot, but Nicole, she said those dogs, there were some dogs on the property. There were neighbor dogs and there were dogs that needed to be rounded up. She said the rest of the pack was gone. She said they kept going to, oh my God, it was huge. What was huge? Ren, what was huge? She kept the regular, remember there's going to be packs in packs. The main crew of dogs were gone. They kept going to one specific spot on the property and they were not right. Oh, wow. They were not right for days. She says days. She said they kept leaving. When they come back, they kept leaving. Here, this is critical. She said that was recommended that they put cameras on them. So, I don't know police policies and police procedures. And I just as soon as I can share screens, I have the information where they can use a bloodhound in certain cases where that can actually be used as evidence that the dog hit. I did. And by the way, the question asked was by one of our people. I don't know if you want me to throw it out there or not, who did it. Just say yes if you do. I don't want to throw you under if you want to stay anonymous with that, you know who I'm talking to. But she didn't actually ask my question. And then people were asking the questions. People are now really starting to talk about the dogs. They're really, really going into the dogs. And that was super exciting. So it was Tiffany Marie. And, you know, I don't have that many people, but if you want to jump over to Jodisue's live, I will not be offended, because if I would not be back to back with Jodisue, because I want to hear what Jodisue says. And especially when it comes to the dogs. So she gave up some really pertinent information when it came to the dogs. Now my other questions would be, did the dogs hit on those areas? Was it just not disclosed to us because in an investigation it doesn't have to be? Though I would believe with the Don and Candus being intoxicated all the time, they're just giving. I did mention that Chris McDonough called Don Wells out on the Hood story, right? Because he's now Robin Hood. And the name of that was Candus and Jodisue, and it was If the Hills Could Talk. Nicole, I sent you I don't have her name written down. I'm going to have to go back and give it credit. So this is a theory. We are speculating now, because I'm going to tell you right now that I believe that there are other things being exposed here. I believe this story is being exposed, and other things surrounding this is being exposed. So hopefully Nicole can jump back on. Okay, so with a question she asked to Jodisue was asked by Ren. Ren asked the question on the live, and Jodisue answered Ren, and that is when she really starts talking about the dogs. And that live stream was so long, Ren, I haven't had a chance to sit down and go back to that segment and really digest what she said. I have ideas right away why those dogs would have gone there. And the other question that I asked but didn't get answered was, did anybody follow the dogs? Guys, listen to your dogs. Please listen to your dogs. Nonverbal communication. Follow the behavioral panel. You know, we're not discussing body language right now or dog talk in that manner, but please follow, because people give tells all the time. The dogs are always talking. They're talking minus shame, and they're speaking in their truth. They don't know the conception of rationalization or trying to give a narrative. They are just going to speak the truth. So, okay, so Nicole, there is speculation. This woman, and I'm so sorry I did not write down her channel. But Nicole, we got to get that in the thing. If you want to come on and talk to us, I do have the link in the comments. And hey, Steph, if you wanted to come on and talk without your face, you could literally block your camera and it'd just be like this, like speaker. Hey, and I just hear your voice. So just throwing that out there, girl. Just throwing that out there. So she's a nurse. And Nicole, do you want to explain what her theory was? Because
she's a nurse, and she talks about.
I'm going to stop you right there really quick. There's a picture of Summer Wells the day before she goes missing. The child looks ill or hurt. Would you agree it's a horrifying picture?
Yes.
But she could be very ill. And I'm going to go why I think there's the other things going on after Nicole says this really plausible scenario.
She basically says that they got into the car to go to the watering hole. They weren't to go swimming. They really weren't dressed or prepared to go swimming. She looked up the temperatures and she grabbed it on the live and said it was only 80 degrees, and the water, I want to say she said, was 72 degrees, which isn't that hot. And they were in the water for a long time, and Summer kept going down, like in the water, underneath it. And when she got out, she was saying how she was very cold and thirsty, and they had nothing really to change her into. They had something in the car, wasn't warm, wasn't a towel. And she, being a nurse, said some of the things that I guess she was saying, being thirsty and having chills, was a sign of hypothermia. So then in the picture with her, Summer leaning over the milk, she noticed her fingernails had like a purplish to the ends of them, and that could be a sign of circulation, that her heart's not pumping right.
It's
So
called the heart greedy.
Yeah, it was slowing down because she was cold and she wasn't getting the opportunity to warm up, and she's also a small child. And then she talked a little bit about how they would have dealt with that in a hospital and how difficult it can be to bring body temperature up. And when they didn't have anything, they put her on some cold milk cartons, which would have made it worse. And then she made reference to something on the seatbelt, which I didn't know if it was blood or what that was, how that was related to it. So what she felt is that Summer was maybe went into shock and passed away when they drove to the home. She never actually got out of the car. She, I guess, texted Dawn and then left, but Grandma didn't know that had happened. Grandma went in her camper. And then where Summer went after that, I think, is the mystery.
And where was Grandma? Because where was Grandma?
Well, she was in the camper.
Grandma claims, according to this video, right, that Grandma had this discussion with somebody, that she gets out of the vehicle when they get home. She goes in her camper, which would have made sense. She'd been at the hospital. She was in pain. There is no candy. Grandma wasn't giving out any candy. In Jodisue's live, she said, Grandma is nowhere. Everybody is searching for Grandma, and Grandma is nowhere. Okay? So she goes into the camper and she goes to sleep. She gets out. She gets out. She goes in the camper, goes to sleep. The nurse felt that the water, no towel, the grandma had put her in the school outfit to warm her up. Then they gave her a slushie. She said the heart was greedy. Her system was shutting down. It was going to the heart. There is so much questions over that picture on the milk carton with the thumb up. Yeah, Grandis had to leave that because Dawn and her would have been in it because she doesn't get along with Dawn. In fact, Jodisue, it's not showing up here. Why not, Ren? Why are you not showing up here? So Grandma, actually, Jodisue said on the lives that Dawn, everything was better when Grandis was around. That's what they called Grandma, because she kept some semblance of, okay, that's too much. She might have been cranky Grandis, but she still kept some of the activities under control. So she goes to sleep. Candus realizes that she's in distress. Dawn, they suffer from, Candus and Jodisue suffer from DV. This is the signal if you are in trouble for DV. Give it to a police officer, fireman, teacher. Everybody needs to know what it is. Called in a controlling situation, would have called, hey guys, would have called Dawn. She disappears for 45 minutes. She comes back, or almost, she's gone for a while with the timeline. She comes back. They never bring Summer to an emergency room.
Then they say, oh, where's Summer?
And then then according to what this other person said, good evening, John. Good evening. This other person said, then the next thing, Grandis was woken up by Candus yelling for Summer. Now, the other theory we have been following is what the TBI told Dawn, okay, out of Dawn's mouth. And there are signs, signals, and symptoms that say that there was SA going on. And we don't know what happened. We all are really positive that they are not telling the truth. Candus has now, I have follow another woman who's fantastic, and she put up a public apology because they have now made a statement that nobody's allowed to use their pictures. Now, here's my question. Can you do that? She is in an Amber Alert. She has an Amber Alert. She has an Amber Alert. How are people not supposed to use her picture? Content creators are putting pressure on police. Listen, Chris McDonough is up there encouraging the YouTube community to keep the pressure on. She is our Paw Patrol Awerness. I adore children. I adore dogs. And where dogs are involved and kids are involved, if I can bring or do anything to help, we are. So where was Grandma? And is it even legal not to be able to use her picture? She has an Amber Alert. Where is she getting all her pictures? Ren had a good question. Where is she getting? I don't know. They knew the CPS was coming out the next day, is what I heard is also possible. They had to move SMUW. What's that mean, Nicole? Because they had to use her or allowed. Yes. Yes. I think that the so even if the other, if the other story is plausible, I still think this is going to expose all the other things. And I still believe that they're involved in SA and possible trafficking. I don't think, thank you for commenting, thank you. I think this got bigger than they anticipated. I don't think the mountains of Tennessee thought that their little baby girl was going to become the poster child for Awerness. I think Mary had a child. I think this blew up and now they're in it, and now they're YouTubers with a web page who doesn't want their child's picture publicized. Oh, Summer used that. Thank you, Ren. Thank God Ren's here. SMUW, Summer Moon, Utah Wells. Got it. Nailed it. Nailed it. Thank you. Yeah, that's the old school meeting the new school, right? With the text messaging. Yeah. I think that they think everyone else is stupid. Really? They don't think everybody's dumb. He's Robin Hood, Stephanie. We're gonna take the police, and we're gonna the police that are helping you look for your 5-year-old daughter, the police that are gonna find your child. You need to prove to them that you have $2,000 in the bank and what you can do with it instead of taking that money to find your child. And you're going to brag about that. We would call those war stories, and we would call that a poor story. And I was so happy to see Chris McDonough say he called him out. And Dawn, who will do an interview with anybody, backed out. He would not step up to Chris McDonough. But, you know, I've only seen 2 things. Hey, Cricket, welcome everybody. I've only seen two things that have brought tears to my eyes. One was Jodisue. When she's crying over Summer, she's crying.
She is.
And she says, the dogs will tell you the story. And I believed her. I totally believed her. The dogs will tell the story as soon as we get this dog's story, right?
Yep.
And Candus and Dawn are saying things about Jodisue now. Are they doing that to pump up their YouTube channel?
Yeah.
Are they monetized?
I don't know.
How much money are they making off of this? Because we're not making money. We are a brand new channel, and we want to monetize. You need 4,000 subscribers. 4,000 watch hours, and you need 1,000 subscribers. We have a long way to go. We're happy you're here, and we're streaming off of StreamYard. And if you have any questions about us and our journey and learning what we do, because we're very green and we're in the beginning phase, we make videos about that too. We do YouTube vocabulary and how to stay out of trouble on YouTube.
Yeah.
The words and things you need to know, because some of these people are super serious.
Yep.
They have full blown feuds going on. Yeah, Ren said, I don't need pictures to find her. I just need 15 minutes face to face with Candus. I believe you. And everybody, please watch Tiffany Marie's interview. Like I said, it's long. If you can't finish it, if you just watch the first beginning part of it, because it is so beautiful. She did such a beautiful tribute. It's beautiful, and it's touching. And be prepared. Have a box of tissues with you, because it'll make you cry. And it's just basically saying, the song is beautiful. That we're going to find you. And Crew Triumph Exposed, he absolutely believes she's alive and we're going to find her.
Yeah.
And we really don't know. But the dogs.
After listening to that video, I don't know if I do believe now we will find her.
What's your theory?
Well, I think that the nurse made a lot of sense. That something happened to her and they've tried to cover it up and hit her somewhere.
And it's possible she did that picture of the day before. One, I hear lots of theories about the church, and we've discussed lots of things. Right. They did not expect it was going to blow up like this. They had no idea. They thought they were from the hills of Tennessee and Hawkins. What did Don say? He gave statistics. 8,000 kids go missing from Tennessee. Okay, Don. Are you helping them go missing? Yeah. Come on. Making a case for your trial, because the truth will come out. It will come out. They are going to have resolution to this case. And if Summer is still alive, she is going to get rescued. And if she's not still alive, she is the Awerness pack leader for the Paw Patrol team, and she is going to help save other children's lives. She has already started a movement, just like Gabby Petito, right?
Mm-hmm.
She has started, and our little tiny itty bitty channel doing just to honor her. There are bigger channels that tribute made me cry. I have listened to those parents over and over and over. Ask me about my children. Ask me about my life experiences with my children. Ask me about painful moments. Ask Nicole. Ask a parent. Ask any one of us. When they speak our hearts, when you hear the truth, listen to your dogs. When you hear the truth, you know it. And I felt the pain when Jodisue was talking, and I adored that tribute. Timmy with the theater. Did your comments move? Yes, they did, Ren. Took me a minute to even understand what that was said. Yes, they did move. Thank you. I don't know what that is. Do you? Timmy with the theater is on some website, and Summer is on there. I didn't understand this site. Something about like looking for missing kids. Oh, okay. Yeah. Predator Nation is another site. Trauma Alert. Predator Nation, they actually hunt down predators. There are bounty hunters of predators. I believe they do work I hope they work in conjunction with the police. I hope the police and search dogs unit really dive into the Summer Wells case with dogs and maybe have trackers available for the dogs on the property for understanding that packs are packs, right? It's just understanding dog behavior. You're going to have all those dogs. You're going to have packs within packs. That child is with generations of dogs. She may be 5, but there's generations of dogs there that know Summer. Summer is a baby girl, right? She's playing house with her babies, which happen to be puppies. The last puppy that was hers name was Lucky, and she couldn't say Lucky, so she said Yucky. And I do that on purpose so that everybody really understands this is a 5-year-old little girl with her dog in the mountains of Tennessee who has become the poster child with, I don't want to even just say, Nicole, can you say it? Children under these situations in a DCF or any situation, will you say what we always say?
Yes, they're always going to go back to and defend their parents, change their story.
Mm-hmm. Because the children love their parents, guys. As horrible as any situation may be, children love their parents. Dogs walk on 4, and they are the representatives of what forgiveness looks like. Okay, I really believe they are here to teach us forgiveness. I'm not quite there yet, but I know that they are wonderful, and I know that they were one of the highlights in Summer Wells and her brother's lives. So she is the poster child. So I do always want to talk about the parents. How do I DM you? Good question. I don't know. I'm so green on this. Send me a private message.
Probably do it on Facebook.
Yeah. I'm Claudia Olson on Facebook if you're on YouTube. So we want to say that because it's super important. But, maybe as things move forward, because boy, was I happy when I heard everybody's talking dog. Nicole, nobody was talking dog except Michelle Walks, and I got on. I mean, a few people were. They were mentioning them. But they are all talking dog now. Guys, let's talk dog. Let's talk about the dogs that are in people's and kids' households. So there's the little Oren's case too, where I think there's a dog named Chalk involved, or was there actual Chalk involved? Does anybody know?
She said to say your Facebook page name again.
Oh, Claudia Olson. Put it in the comments.
Yeah.
Probably should get an email or something. Yeah, she's not on the property. She may have, however, been on the property for a minute. The dogs, Jodisue kept saying the dogs kept going to one very specific spot. So if she didn't get out of the truck, okay, so let me do to this. A cadaver dog, from what I understand, there's a couple cadaver dogs that in the world of two that are so good that they can smell death like that. A cadaver dog cannot smell death for possibly an hour to 24 hours after the person has passed. It's because of the gases that the body starts to excrete. However, I'll give you two theories. If Summer came out of the back of her house and somebody grabbed her and she peed, or any of her bladder dropped at all, the dogs would be right there. That would be a spot they would go to. If she was passed out in the truck and the truck was there and the dogs knew that their baby girl was in that truck and then that truck disappeared, right? They can sense things that Candus isn't looking for, Dawn's not looking for. They know Candus is in Dawn's body language. Does that make sense? So they know how so if Candus was super frenetic, which means you have crazy energy, and it was unusual, it wasn't the typical crazy energy, the dogs might know that. They would sense, they would be able to smell Summer's skin cells coming onto that property. They would know she was in that vehicle. So if she pulled up in that vehicle and sat there and got on the phone with Dawn, oh my God, she's, her pulse is dropping. She's cold. I can't wake her up. Oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? Right? And then took off to get to Dawn. They would have known she was home and they were gone. They would have known that. Or if she came out the door and somebody grabbed her. You ever been so scared, Nicole, that you pee? The little baby girl, they would have gone to that spot for those reasons. I haven't had a chance to digest all of that. So I'm just going to tell you what my first thoughts were with that. Jodisue was adamant that those dogs kept leaving. Not only were they not the main part of the pack, clarification. The main part of the pack wasn't there, and they'd come back and they leave and they were not right. She said it, they were not right. And listen, I don't have any question about what Jodisue's saying there, because if you watch the video, and we should repost that in here, where she's crying, where you actually feel the love for Summer Wells, and this other video that was done the other night where you're bawling, oh my God. She screams it in passion, and those dogs know the story. They know it. So no shade there. That she's telling you the truth. She's been saying it. She's telling the truth. So maybe we need to get better as a dog community, because I'm seeing dogs all over, right? Everybody, they're showing their dogs because dogs get attention. Go ahead, try to compete against a dog. Listen to them. Everybody, they're showing their dogs because dogs get attention. Every time they see you, they just mute it, Nicole. They fall in love with you like they never saw you before. All the endorphins drop in their brain are dropping. They see you, they love. So if they love you so much, why wouldn't they find you? Listen to your dogs. So as a dog community, it's awareness, and more awareness comes around, right? More and more. And I know that you can't use this dog stuff in a court of law. I'm aware. A couple bloodhounds under certain situations. That doesn't mean they wouldn't find you. They would find you. I had a situation once where I went into a counselor's office and they said I was chasing my son around, And they said, how do you always know where he is? And I said, I don't. I bring the dog. True story. True story. Because I listen to the dog. So what's your version, Nicole?
I agree with you. And I'm starting to think, though, that this may not be a happy ending. I kind of agree with what the nurse said, and that we need to listen to the dogs because there must be some clues on that property that they can help us with.
You know, I think the TBI is doing their job. Bullhorn Betty and Molly Golightly, they're going out there to protest the TBI. And I believe that pressure should be put. I believe that basically human beings are good, but there is corruption everywhere. And I do not believe that the police are immune to being corrupt or writing down things that, work in their favor. And I believe that, people they can use pressure. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it's their right to go protest. Yes, they're going to draw a lot of attention to themselves. They're going to draw a lot of attention to the channels they're building, but pay attention. That is absolutely their right, and it is going to keep pressure on this case. I don't think they're not doing their job. I think they are absolutely. I think they are building a case, and I think indictments probably will be coming shortly. They also might want more. Yeah, this is a good comment. I thought this too. From what I understand, you want to read it, Nicole?
Yeah. The one where they said it blew up so quick that they may have done away with her out of fear, but please let her be alive.
I said that too because if you're involved in criminal activity, no proof, no crime. No proof, no crime. If you don't have a body, it's going to be a very hard thing to prove. So, but what I understand is if the other theory is true, and I'm learning this from True Crime Exposed and Ernie, who is Predator Nation, and Ernie, when he went on True Crime Exposed, and I say this every time, recommended NSOPW as an app. Nicole, would you type that in the comments? NSOPW. He said that is the best app to get to find out who is in your neighborhood. That doesn't mean you want to harass anybody, but you want to know. You want to know, and where was Grandma? I'm a grandma. Where was Grandma? And Michelle Walks of Michelle Walks and Michelle After Dark on her Michelle Walks. I haven't gotten to listen to it yet. Did just on the grandma conversation, did a video about a grandma that's a giggling, chuckling, not so nice grandma. So, Grandma, did you give the baby Summer? Where's your granddaughter? Grandma, where is your granddaughter? Where were you? Jodisue didn't see you. Where were you? Why did you leave? And we know that there are SA abusers being exposed all over by YouTubers because they're going to their Facebook pages and they're getting all sorts of information.
Yeah.
Love Ernie. Says it's crazy. It actually gives more info. That's what he said. That's Ernie from Predator Nation. That's exactly what he said. He said it gives you the most information. So, yeah, that is the app that he recommends, and they're out there. The other thing, when you go to True Crime Exposed, you go to Predator Nation, they're going to talk to you about signs and symbols. So Gabby Petito made this sign popular. She's bringing it to the forefront. Their parents, and nobody expected that to blow up either. You go, parents. Your kids are missing. And this has saved a life, probably even more than that. But if you don't know it, you don't know to teach it to people. And muscle memory, okay? And if a police officer comes up to you and you can get your body blocked, there's all sorts of ways you can get smooth with this, right?
Yeah.
So you just keep practicing. Practice makes perfect, and practice gives you muscle memory. So when you are in distress, your brain freezes, freeze, fight, flight, appease, right? That's what we learned from our other victim, right? Freeze, flight, appease. So when your brain freezes, that's when you need your muscle memory. That's why they call it muscle memory. It becomes automatic. It becomes a habit. How many times, Nicole, to make something a habit?
Well, you have to do it at least, I don't know, 30 times, but to be a master, you have to do it 10,000.
Aw, thank you, sweetie. That was wonderful. We're doing from the heart. Walking, not, we don't want to be judgy. And I want
Yeah.
listening to Candus and Dawn. I think we need to start talking about the epidemic. You know, when we start talking about people, this is common, you know, for the epidemic of drugs, but it's becoming commonplace for predators to groom
Yes.
people with addiction
Yep.
so that they can get to their children. I mean,
Gotta
and
keep
how
an eye
many
on
more
our children.
so vulnerable. And if
And
that's
this is,
they're not grooming the child, they don't even have to groom the child. They only have to groom the person that has an
yeah.
addiction in order to get that person in a desperate situation so that they can get to the target. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah.
If
We
we
have,
don't deal with addiction, if we don't get some programs out there, because just throwing away people is not the answer. That's not the answer, because these drugs they're out today, if your child, my grandchildren, your nieces, your nephews, they go to a party, they try something a couple times, they can literally be hooked.
yep. And there's been some videos where girls are getting stuff put in their drink. There was a video Kenny showed me about a girl who was paralyzed from it. I mean, you gotta protect and educate our youth and our parents better than what we've been doing.
Way better than what we've been doing. When, you know, we've discussed this before. I was a kid going through, you were too. We were riding my buddies in New York, the kids are riding the subways.
Yeah, sure were.
We were Grand Central Station. We were told to stay away from, they used to call them pimps back in the day. They'd offer you drugs, get you hooked on drugs, and then start, you know, not me. They'd start prostituting you. That's not what's happening today. Modern day slavery is happening today.
Amen.
So when we're talking about slavery, we're talking about modern day with
Our
no
children are not
discrimination.
slaves.
It does not have any discrimination. It
No,
is
it doesn't.
for our babies, and our babies are integrated, by the way. So all of us need to stand against any kind of abuse, because abuse is going to be perpetuated by abuse. And the children, the innocent, are on the bottom, and right below them are the dogs. Okay, the dogs. That's where we get our swag, and that they are here to teach us forgiveness. They are angels on 4. And Summer's babies could tell a story, and maybe when we're going into homes, maybe we should have trackers for the dogs in the households so they can help bring us to their pack member. Dogs will tell. They will tell. They'll only tell the truth.
Hey, listen, I gotta hop off here, but this has been a really good conversation.
I'm glad you came on. Anything else you got to go before Anne? Are
No,
you doing a live tomorrow?
I can, yeah.
Oh, no, I meant for your makeup.
Yeah, we can talk about it.
Okay.
But I
Yeah,
won't
no,
be
I
on
just
till
wanted to
later.
know when you were going to be live, if you had a scheduled time.
Oh,
So,
I'm probably going to do it when I get, let's see, 5, 6, probably 6:37.
okay. And you're going to practice. We're streaming on StreamYard. So we're green, we're brand new. And we thank you for coming in. We are doing a campaign for Summer Wells and her dogs because we wanted to bring a positive light. We want to honor you, little girl.
Yep.
We want to honor you. We know that your name is getting out there. We want you to know we understand you love your parents, and we are your paw patrol is getting helped on the mountains of Tennessee, and that you are helping save other little girls just like you. That's amazing. It is amazing. And Nicole has a certificate that we're probably going to send to the Humane Society. We just need to get that printed out, right, and get a frame
Yep.
for it.
Mm-hmm.
And we would like to send that to the Humane Society in Summer's name. When we do that, we will put in a donation also
Okay.
from Hands to Paws and from me personally. I will do both. Yes, we love you, Summer. We love you, and we thank you for being our awareness representative. And we're going to wish that you have an amazing future and that you are alive and will survive and thrive. So
Yep.
So, Nicole used to love Star Trek, being her big sister. I know lots of things. Does everybody remember what the Trekkie thing was? So that's what I feel like Nicole and I are doing now, but except we're not doing it for being Trekkies. Hey, and what about William Shatner going to the moon at 90? Huh?
Yeah,
So
well.
how's everybody living in 90? I want to Hollywood. What are they feeding them in Hollywood? So this is a distress signal. It is a hand signal. The other night, we talked about sign language, Summer Wells, some people teaching Summer Wells sign language and why they would do that. So you got to have sign language too. You've got to know when you're in trouble, and you've got to teach little kids because they do not know that they're even in trouble until they have the opportunity to be around other families. They don't know what they don't know.
They don't.
Teach everybody teach everybody you know. See, I've been practicing and I still
You
lost.
have them. Yeah.
And Nicole, please post your lives practice with StreamYard. We're streaming off of StreamYard, super easy, super user-friendly. And you can do, as we do our videos on YouTube, lingo, strike, thumbnail. What are the other things? Oh God, I forgot all this. I have it all written down. I have the vocabulary list for the YouTube. Give everybody credit. Make sure that if you're speaking about somebody's content, that you give them credit. And Nicole's going to be practicing hers to get announced when her on StreamYard with her thumbnails.
Hopefully tomorrow.
Going to be live. Yeah. And if you don't accomplish it tomorrow, that's fine. But, it just gives everybody a chance to know when you're coming on.
Find me live on Facebook.
Thank you.
Knows me.
You are showing your young age. Look at Ren said there. Yeah. She does look super young too. She'll have to do her makeup one time when we're talking true crime, and then at the end of it, we can do a guess your age.
I'm not as young as I look, but thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Right. Yeah. Thanks. I'm gonna go too. So
okay.
Till tomorrow night. Remember, if you're in trouble, and that's it. That's all I got.